Good morning, bird nerds, garden enthusiasts, habitat gardeners, wildlife gardeners, whatever you would like to call yourself is fine by me. Folks, it's totally open to you this morning. Um, I've I've had do I look ridiculous and cold and like I've been under the weather? I should because I have. Um, and to be honest with you, the thought of World War Three just makes it easy to rug up and lie in bed. I will say the butcher birds around here have been calling. They're obviously back and they're obviously engaging in some uh, lead up to breeding type behaviour, I would imagine. So that's very good. But I haven't managed to see where they're hanging out. I can hear them. Uh, they're across the other side of the park, so they're hanging out in people's gardens. I believe so. That's good. Mm. If you're new here and you haven't been in the habitat gardening live stream before on a Saturday morning here at 9:30 a.m. every Saturday morning, coming from the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri people, otherwise known as Melbourne, Australia. But we can talk about any kind of habitat gardening from anywhere in the world, even though Australian native plants and Australian birds are kind of my jam. Uh, what did I see this week that I wanted to pass on? Oh yes, when I was away with Millie Formby on her flight around uh, the country, we were stopped at a place called Elliot on the main north south highway in the middle of Australia in the Northern Territory, and there wasn't much at Elliot to commend itself to the world, but I saw on a couple of occasions there a grey falcon, and I knew I'd seen a grey falcon, but I didn't have many people uh, terribly terribly supportive of my idea. But I did see during the week on one of the Facebook bird ID groups that very same grey falcon photographed by someone who was staying at the very same place that we were in Elliot. Um, so that made me feel very, 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 very happy. It's nice to uh, it's nice to know that you were um, correct. Um, so there we go. In terms of gardening, habitat gardening this week, I'm just open to you guys. So I've felt crappy all week. I've done very, very little. I've done nothing productive, but I did get an email containing the certificate that I recently just finished. So uh, that's the only exciting thing. Butcher birds. Uh, oh no, I did say something else. What was it? What was it? When I was down the street. Um, what was it? Oh, yeah, white-naped honeyeater over here. I did see a white-naped honeyeater, but that was uh, in the park, in the main drag of St Albans. So that was pretty exciting. So there we are. I'm open to you guys today. Whatever you would like to say, ask, I'm here for it. Otherwise, we're going to have a very, very short conversation. Uh, because I must admit I'd be quite happy to crawl back into bed and get very warm again. It's been quite cold this this part of the world, so this is where I need some backing music, don't I, just to keep things going. Is anybody out doing anything gardening wise today? Anything interesting? I will be going out in the afternoon looking for the butcher birds as soon as I hear them calling again, and sending out a whole lot of invitations for people to jump onto the bird emergency in the next few weeks. Now that the course is finished, I am free. I am free. Just seeing if anyone's dropping any comments or anything on the socials. At Bird Emergency on the Twitter or the X, and the Bird Emergency on Blue Sky, or replying, commenting on YouTube is the best way to be involved. If you've got any questions, habitat gardening questions that you would like to uh, throw in, that would be great. Oh, Charlie, good morning. What's Charlie got to say? I probably need my glasses on. Where are they to read the comment this morning? I've got a funny feeling it's probably a bit colder where you are than it is here. Charlie, what do you got? Charlie said, sorry, you're feeling cold and unwell. Well, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was, but I'm still feeling, when you get the tail end of when you've been a bit crook and you just get a bit grumpy and lacking patience. That's where I'm at. But I know that tomorrow or the day after I'll be back at 100%. Okay, I've no winter flowers except camellia. Of course, the camellias are good. Uh, the camellias are very, very good for some of the smaller honey eaters. They'll get in around them. Okay, suggestions for winter flowering plants. Okay, let's do it this way. There's a lot of correas that you'll find flowering in winter, um, which you can use. Now, are you just wanting? Let's clarify. Are you wanting winter flowers for nectar feeders, or are you wanting winter flowers for all kinds of critters, and also just for color, like to give you something bright to look at in the garden? And then you're saying shade. Can you quantify the amount of shade? And is it shade from buildings or other solid structures like fences, or is it a dappled understory shade? Because it's very, very different, but we often don't uh, recognize that when we're looking uh, at the site. So give us a little bit more information there, Charlie. I'm going to see if I've got do I have a quick list? I don't think I have a quick list for winter. I should have. I should have. I think this might be one that I'm going to have to do. Yes, I think that's one I'm going to have to put together for you. Okay, like the flowers to be multi-purpose for all critters if possible. The shade is some fencing and some larger trees. Okay, so you've got some what I call solid shade, where like you know maybe a paling fence or something is casting really heavy shadows, complete shadows, and then you've got which some shade which is cast from the canopy of trees. Um, in that really heavy shaded area where the fence is casting shadows, Charlie, is how much of the day do you get shade in that spot? I would like you to tell me that. Uh, that would be cool. Um, shade's really difficult. Um, yeah, shade is really difficult, and and you want winter flowering in shade. I um, I can give you a non-native right off the top of my head, which is the clivia, which is a South African uh, plant. That best way to describe it is it looks like an agapanthus, except it's got yellow and orange flowers. So it's a clumping, strappy leaf, but large, wider, strappy, glossy leaf, green glossy leaf plant. Um, and clivias do well in the Melbourne / Victoria climate in shaded positions where they get some uh, direct and indirect sunlight for 3 or 4 hours of the day. Um, okay, 1 hour of sunlight. See, that's really really heavy shade. Uh, how tall's the fence? How tall's the fence? And do you mind if some of the plant goes above the fence? That's the next question, because you can fill. I mean, that's why a lot of people use camellias in shady spots, because when they get up a bit taller, they'll they can hold their foliage down quite low, but all of their chlorophyll needs are being met um, by leaves which are out of the shade. So um, that's another one of the things that we can often find a plant that will fill that shaded spot, but getting the leaves out over the top. Okay, so it's an 8 foot tall fence. Okay, so we're really looking at 2.5, 3 meters plus. Um, all right, you're going to have to leave that one with me. That's going to take a little bit of detective work. Um, now you're down in the coasty area. Uh, is that spot going to get strong coastal winds um, or any salt, Charlie? See, we've got to nut through all the issues. We've got to nut through all the issues so you can tell me that bit now. We'll just wait a minute, eh? Um, this is what I'll do this afternoon, Charlie, for you, just to pretty protected. Okay, I want a definitive answer. Is it going to get any salt laden wind? Uh, this that's important. Um, you tell me that, then I'll have some confidence uh, uh, to get on with that. Um, because pretty protected is one of those very subjective things. Uh, Whether it gets any sort of salt coming um, uh, up off the sea and hitting directly on the foliage is okay. So it is occasionally salty. Okay, so um, just to explain why that is an issue. Um, Basically, salt on a non-salt tolerant plant just once can kill it. So we need to treat it as if every day would be salty for the plants that we can choose. Um, okay, that one's on notice. I've got all of the parameters jotted down, and we'll get to that. I'll get to that this afternoon while I'm rugged up and doing a bit of homework and consulting all of my Bibles. Um, I'll break it down into a couple of things too. I'll have the list for you, Charlie, and I'll let you know about that. But when I reveal it back to we'll talk about it next week. Uh, I'll break it into a couple of different climate zones because what's going to be suitable for your place is going to be a little bit different to people further up the coast and um, further up in the north. And also, I'll have to consider a list that would be non-coastal. So yeah, that's what we'll do. What's going on the corner of my chat box? That's really interesting. I've got some bubbles or something happening. That's really weird. Okay, that's cool. Um, yes. So, any other questions there, Charlie? Stan, are you here today? Um, uh, just wondering how Stan's planting project has gone on. Um, we'll just see if we're getting any more comments coming in. Um, just too, if you're new to live streams, live streams are different to just your normal videos and whatnot. Obviously, here I'm I do these every Saturday morning, Australian Eastern. Uh, well, standard time now, but when we get round into the warmer weather, it'll be Australian Eastern Daylight Time, Melbourne, Sydney, Hobart, Canberra time zone. Mm, Uh, and it's just basically to answer any questions you've got, just like Charlie have had. Um, because I do know that quite often when you go to your local plant retailer, you will probably be speaking to someone who has no idea about specific questions about plants. Um, Okie dokie. Charlie, no other questions for me. I'm keen to hear the recommendations, though. Charlie says, well, um, have I got an email for you, Charlie? I don't think I do, but on Facebook, no, I can grab you. I can let you know on Facebook. Um, what we'll do. So yeah, cool. Um, that would be very, very, very good. Uh, all right, well, I'm just going to hang around for a few more minutes and see if anyone else has got another question or a comment. And otherwise, I'm going to get to work on my task for Charlie and chilling out a little bit, and hopefully hear the butcher birds and go on a bit of a quest to find out where they're hanging out and if they're actually if if my assumption is correct that they are actually breeding nearby. Sorry for looking down too. I'm checking, just making sure that we're not getting any comments or questions coming through on the socials. I started reorganizing my website. Uh, I'm really keen to try and do things on the website rather than through other platforms if possible. Uh, so yeah, it's a slow process getting all those things organised. Um, but anyway, I'll update with all of that. Um, oh, uh, right, Charlie. Well, I've got a good task from you. What do we got here? Uh, Now, Charlie's come up with a very good question. Isn't it a bit early for butcher bears rebreeding? Uh, yes, actually breeding, yes, but doing all the pair bonding and chasing off or finding partners, chasing off territorial rivals. No, I think that's what's going on because um, the call I'm hearing a, a wide range of calls, and they do seem to be calling back and forth. So whether that's telling others to stay away or whether it's inviting others in, that's what I want to discover. Yeah, I do think it's a bit early for actual breeding, but I'm seeing lots and lots of courtship and pair bonding behavior from all the other birds around here. So um, and and I do think that we are getting uh, I think all this stuff's happening earlier and earlier now. Um, yeah, I just think all this stuff is going on earlier and earlier um, as a consequence of changing climate. So um, yeah, and look too, I have to point out that it's the grey butcherbird, not the pied butcherbird here. So the grey butcherbird's got a wonderful call. Uh, and if you don't know what butcherbirds are, they're sort of like a small version of a magpie, even though they look like of an Australian magpie, even though they look a little bit like kookaburras, um, but they hunt small birds and small animals, and they do build up a larder. Not always, but in times of plenty, they'll build up a larder and will impale um, their victims on thorns and hooks and whatnot. Um, so that's why they are known as a butcher bird, just from that habit. Um, so yes. Has anyone else apart from apart from Charlie got a question? Um, oh, Charlie, we've got into politics early, hey? Uh, so peeved by Trump comments about the weather forecast and climate change. Uh, yeah. Um, I sort of almost gone past that whole the whole parade thing. I'm I'm getting very very annoyed at the way the media is reporting current events at the moment. But we're definitely leaving politics out of habitat gardening today. We'll leave that for not just another podcast. Um, yeah, yeah, it's times like these when you just see the total inaccuracy in the reporting that we get, um, is just disappointing. Um, uh, yeah, it's hard to get. It's hard to be very very enthusiastic about fun things and good things when this stuff intrudes into all of our lives like this. Um, yeah. Anyway, all right. Once started, you could probably go on for hours. Charlie says that is quite correct. Yeah, this this week seeing the level of news reporting, or what's purported as news reporting, has been really terrible. I think, um, but I think that's the world we live in now, which is um, uh, why I think people with the skills and the aptitude and the ability need to be doing their own sort of content creation and sharing, so that um, some accurate stuff gets out there. The flip side of that is, of course, you get everyone with an opinion is out talking and filling the airwaves as well. But um, that's modern world. Modern world. Uh, I should note, if you would like to uh, uh, would like to support my efforts, maybe defray some of the costs of doing online creation, just hit me up um, on Buy Me a Coffee. Thebirdemergency.com/coffee is the easy link to go to go there, and you could just, well, as the name suggests, you could buy me a coffee. I probably wouldn't spend it on coffee. I'd probably put it towards internet expenses, but you know what I mean. Um, that would be very, very, very cool. All right. Well, I've got the task from Charlie to find him an uh, appropriate suite of plants for his shady, coastal, sometimes salt affected spot. So we'll get onto that, and I'm going to go and I can just feel the throat going, so I'm going to go and uh, get in a get in a bit of a warmer spot and consult my favourite Bibles and get on my lists, get into all my notebooks, and come up with a list for Charlie, and I'll share on the socials where you can get my lists. I have been working on them. I just haven't done very much at all this week. So I feel like I should apologise, but I'm not going to apologise for being sick. Stuff that. So yeah. All right, folks. Very quick one today. Uh, about an hour shorter than we normally run, but that's life. I'll probably stick if I feel better tomorrow. I'll probably stick my head up again and do something tomorrow. But I look forward to catching up with you all soon. Thank you, Charlie, for your contributions this morning. If you're one of the regulars and you're just lurking today, I hope you're going to have a uh, very fun weekend. Uh, Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, I'm almost there. You know how it is when you get to that stage where you've got over the worst of it and you're just about right. But that it would be unwise to push the boundaries too far again over the weekend. Um, so yeah, cool. Uh, okay, I'm Grant. I'm a horticulturist, also a bird nerd. This has been Habitat Gardening. Look, make sure you have a great weekend. Go and do some gardening, and Charlie, I will report back with your list. Certainly for everyone next week, but I'll try and let you know something beforehand. I'll get to you on the Facebook. Hooroo!